I mean, we're talking about winds that are anywhere from about 30 to occasionally gusting to 45 miles an hour from time to time. I took a little walk out from where we are in this resort area to the water. It's far enough away so you can't see it, obviously. It's still dark here. But there has been, from what I looked at yesterday, about a 6-foot water rise, okay, total water rise. And on top of that, there are about 8-foot rolling waves coming in. So you can hear the pounding surf. And even this far away, we're getting that kind of a water rise. So imagine what it's like down near where this came ashore. And from what I'm hearing and what I'm reading this morning, it did come ashore. The western eye wall is on shore right now down near Chetumal. And with 160-mile-an-hour winds, with a hurricane, as you know, Kim and Nick, that's intensifying upon landfall, that is not going to be a good thing. The farther south you get here in this Mayan Riviera, the poorer the construction is, and the lower it is, as you get down toward a bay and a river that comes into Chetumal. So, you know, it could be catastrophic if those people did not evacuate that area. It could be absolutely catastrophic, and we could see huge loss of life. Let's hope that is not going to be the case in through here. It seems like everyone was prepared. That's, you know, these kind of hurricanes are a way of life here, and certainly it looks like people were prepared. Even here, where I was, 145 miles to my north, they took everybody around midnight local time and brought them into the convention center. Some 400 visitors that still remain here. That's what we got for you this morning. Right now we are rain-free, but from time to time we do get some pretty heavy downpours, and that looks like it's going to continue to be the case here this morning. We'll keep you posted as we get more information. We'll pass it along to you. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Jim. Now let's go ahead and talk about the projected path of this. I know those of you in South Texas have been watching this very closely. We are very confident, though, this is not going to make landfall in Texas. Here is the current satellite image of it making landfall as we speak, as Jim talked about that eye wall coming ashore now. Now, by later today, this is going to be through the Yucatan and back out into open water. It will weaken as it moves across the Yucatan, causing devastation as it's moving across this area, and then possibly even intensify again, maybe coming down to a Cat 1 or 2 as it moves back in the Bay of Campeche, and then Wednesday morning into Wednesday afternoon, making a second landfall here in Mexico, maybe as a major hurricane. So this thing really is something we're going to contend with here over the next 24 to 48 hours. So again, watching it coming ashore now, you can see right there that eye wall coming in right here. And again, Jim talked about the water rise where he is. With this in that right front quadrant, we're talking about a 6, maybe up to 18-foot water rise here, plus 30-foot waves on top of that. So significant beach erosion here. This coast will not be the same when this hurricane is done with it. Of course, hurricane warnings have been up for this area. We have plenty of time to prepare for this. And then hurricane warnings here for the western parts of the Yucatan as well. Hurricane watches here from Tampico southward, meaning these conditions here, we could see hurricane force conditions within the next 24 to 36 hours. So after landfall, what can we expect? Again, we're expecting devastation here across the Yucatan as this moves by pretty quickly. It's going to be rainy. Flooding is not... It's a concern, but not as much as it is farther west here into Mexico, where we have a pretty high mountain range here, and we're going to see some significant flooding. So some strength expected to come back to this hurricane once it goes back into the Bay of Campeche, its water source, its heat, its fuel, and then making a second landfall sometime Wednesday here into Mexico. We will keep you up to date on this very dangerous hurricane
in Puerto Aventuras, Mexico.
He joins us live now. Jim, things have really changed there over the last few hours. Would you say you've seen the worst of it, or do you think the worst is yet to come?
Well, Marshall, I think the worst of it is kind of coming through. I mean, you got to remember when these things come on shore, as big as they are, especially in that eye wall collapse, that energy just doesn't disappear. It is spread outward throughout the hurricane. And, of course, we continue to see the winds stay up as strong as they've ever been, even at the time of landfall here. But the key is even 120 miles away, the kind of surf that I'm seeing behind me here is amazing. Walking out here yesterday on this wall in front of this resort, first of all, the wall is up about 6 to 10 feet. And on top of that, we're seeing the waves crashing over that. So when we're talking to Dr. Lyons, with the storm, you have a water rise, a total water rise because of the surge in the tide. That comes up. Then on top of that are the waves. The waves are running anywhere from 6 to 8 feet. And, of course, as they roll in, they pound the wall and they pound some of the actual structure. We've seen huge chunks of stone that have been picked up and thrown over this wall. There is structural damage to the front of these cabanas. Some of them have been washed away completely here that are down in the little lagoon area. Let's do we have that package, Mike? Okay, let's go ahead and show you what we shot earlier today with Jorma was out on the beach here with us. Check this out.
It is 6:13 a.m. local time, and look how powerful this water is coming up ashore. And here at this resort, this is a little lagoon right here that is now sustaining damage. You see a lot of the things that are ripped off, and this little centerpiece right now is surrounded with water. But even more than that is check out all this coral from this water coming up as it just did. This is not supposed to be right here. It is a portion of this wall that's supposed to keep the water at bay. Look how much rock has been spread across, and look at that big boulder right there thrown by how powerful this wind is and the water. And take a look at these waves right here. I mean, this is white water at its best. We're talking 8, 10, 12, possibly 20 feet high. That's how powerful this water is. And so it is now an idea of how much water is in this area and coming up onto this resort. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The sun, or at least some of the daylight, is starting to come up. And when the light really starts to shine, you're really going to get a good idea just how crazy this water is. That is the story here on the Weather Channel's Jorma Duran.
Hey guys, again, we just shot that about 18, 19 minutes ago, and of course the sun's come up a lot more since then. My little friend, the iguana there, it's just kind of amazing. As soon as we came out here to do that, we spotted him, and he's just been kind of hanging out on that cliff. But every once in a while, a big wave will come and smack him, and he just kind of hangs on and makes it through it. It's kind of weird looking at that thing, and you think, is that a part of the wall when I first saw that, or is that an iguana? Sure enough, it's an iguana. Guys, here's the 120 miles from the center, 120 miles from the center, and we've got this kind of wave action. Just imagine what it was like down near that eye wall. All right, we're talking about waves possibly reaching the beach as high as 20 feet, and the surge, which was probably double this. So there's going to be huge problems with surge. But guys, unlike Katrina, where the surge caused most of the damage, we will have wind as well. Winds estimated anywhere from 150 to 175 miles an hour, and that's sustained. So, you know, this was a very, very powerful hurricane, third strongest, lowest pressure on record, and even this far north from the center, the kind of destruction we're seeing here is just an awesome sight. I got to tell you, I got an eerie feeling about what we're going to find farther to my south. The good news is, of the 130,000 residents of Chetumal, most of them, if not all of them, had been evacuated. They heeded the warnings and got out of harm's way, and that is just a great thing. Again, some of the strongest winds we're seeing now so far, and obviously the surf continues to be a huge issue. The wave height should start to go down a little bit, as should the water, but the damage, as we mentioned here at this resort area, has been done. We'll keep you posted, guys. We're going to continue to get information for you, and as we get it, we'll pass it along. Marshall and Heather, back to you.
All right, thank you, Jim. And if you look real closely here, too, there's that iguana that Jim was talking about, and pretty amazing that he's just hanging on so tight there. That is amazing.
Well, in addition to storm tracker Jim Cantore, our weather warriors are keeping us updated on Dean's wrath.
Absolutely, and Belinda Lamont sent in this picture from the South Sound of Cayman Islands, and as you can see, the beautiful beaches there really took a hit.
They took a bad hit. Now, Horatio, another one of our weather warriors, sent in this picture of crashing waves in Belize. He says that many docks have been rooted out and are now debris on the beach.
And let's get our bottom line now. Category 5 Hurricane Dean, extremely intense and dangerous, capable of catastrophic damage.
Inland, but look, way